Welcome to Love and Money. My name is Joel Solomon. I'm a prosperity coach. This is Tony Veer, relationship coach. And today we're going to be talking about how money isn't just for things, it's for your whole life. And we've talked in the past about money and emotions. Consider how you feel when you relate to money. Now you know that money is unemotional, and yet a lot of us attach emotions to money. So I know Tony talked a bit last time about unemotional versus emotional, and we had you put together some lists. So will you talk a little bit about that now?
Sure. So again, relationships are three-dimensional. So there's you, there's your partner, then there's the space in between called a relationship. The space in between that's called a relationship is where you actually come together. It's where your mind, your heart, your experiences come together with your partners to make agreements that make the relationship work. And one of the things about, the space in between called a relationship is that it's part emotional, part unemotional. I call it part baby, part business. Mm-hmm. And the reason is because the emotional part really runs things and you can't take your eyes off it ever. You could not have to deal with it right this minute, like as if you were sleeping and your baby was sleeping, but you ain't taking your eyes. You are not off duty when it comes to the emotional part. And then when it comes to the unemotional part, you actually have to recognize to get your emotions out of the way so you can see things objectively. Because it's hard to see reality when you're all triggered and angry, because all you're going to do is see the things that are consistent with being triggered and angry. Mm-hmm. And by the way, feelings, emotions are terrific servants, but terrible masters. So you don't want to be run by them. You want to run them.
And sometimes taking emotions out is a good thing, and sometimes it's a bad thing. So think about investing. You don't want to be all frazzled and fearful and worried when you're investing. Similarly, when you get a bill, you don't want to be fearful or worried or frazzled when you're getting a bill. But sometimes taking away emotions is a bad thing, right? When you're working together with your partner on coming together, working together, you want to get on the same page. And I know you've talked in the past about different levels of competence, conscious incompetence. You want to talk a little bit about that as well?
Yeah. And just before I do that, what I want to say is that when you know what you're doing, you're actually investing. You're investing your time and energy in your partner rather than guessing. When you understand finances, then you're actually managing them and investing in them rather than gambling. Because when you don't know what you're doing, you're just trying and you're hoping that it works. You're throwing stuff up against the wall to see if it's going to stick or not. And so you actually really have to do the work to understand both money and relationships, in particular around the emotional part. Mm-hmm. So now, when you talked about, say that again, I'm sorry.
Conscious incompetence.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay, great. I remember that now. So, I'm cracking myself, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So, there are different levels of awareness that we have, and those four awarenesses are where you unconsciously incompetent. That means that you don't even know that you don't know you don't know. It would be like talking to Julius Caesar about air conditioning. He's like, huh? What are you talking about? Then the next level is to be consciously incompetent. So that would be like you know something, but you know you don't know nothing about it. That would be me in heart surgery. Do not hire me to take care of your heart surgery, okay? The third thing would be to be consciously competent. That means you know what you're doing and you know that you know. So you know how to make your bed, you know how to, cook some food if you have to, and some of y'all foodies, you better than that. But that's what you could do because at least you know it. You can brush your hair like that. Then the fourth level is to be unconsciously competent. That would be when you're in the zone. When you're Michael Jordan that hit 7 3-pointers in a row, and he's like, how did that happen? This is when you're so consciously, so aware of how to do stuff, so automatically skillful. It's like driving. When you're driving, you don't be thinking about nothing. You could be texting somebody. I don't recommend. And doing makeup and driving at the same time and not even realizing it because you know what you're doing so well. But it's funny because we so unconsciously confident about driving, but we could actually get ourselves in a car accident and die in 1 second. But we're so confident in our skill set, we don't worry about it.
Right. So think about that. How it relates to money, relates to you in terms of savings, you in terms of budgeting. I know for some of you that's a 4-letter word, but where are you on those four levels. Are you consciously competent? Or are you unconsciously incompetent, or unconsciously competent in investing, for example? So look, you're never going to get away from money. So pay attention to what triggers you, what triggers your partner, and how it impacts the relationship. If you get an unexpectedly large bill, does that trigger you? If an investment drops by 10% in a day, does that trigger you? Or do you view it as, wow, lucrative opportunities always come my way, I get to buy more today? So what are your triggers? And then the question is, how do you resolve those triggers?
Well, one of the things you have to do is recognize what it is that triggers you in the first place.
Right.
Now, we happen to be gifted as human beings. We can see everybody else's triggers. We can see mom's trigger, kids' trigger, husband's trigger, wife's trigger, everybody's triggers but our own,
Right.
doggone it. And so what you could do that would make a difference in your relationship is to give yourselves permission to support each other in identifying each other's
Triggers.
Triggers, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know where I went.
Yeah.
I think I got triggered or something. But seriously, like, give each other permission to explore each other's triggers, because you can see your partner's trigger, but your partner ain't trying to hear it, and you probably being too nice about it or bullying them, or both, so that they don't get a chance to do something about it. But being in an untriggered relationship is an amazing thing, because you can love each other clearly, and then you can do things objectively, sort of like the A-Team.
Right.
You know, where everybody did the things that they needed to do, and everybody depended on them to be that way. And yeah, they had the triggers, but not in the areas that was most important to them to get things done.
Now, some other ways to resolve triggers. First of all, I was talking to a client recently, and she said, oh, I had a terrible week, I overspent. Well, first of all, I don't view things as mistakes, I view them as learning opportunities. So I said to her, look, this is a great opportunity to learn where you can save, right? Because this was, according to her, a terrible week, but actually to me it was a great week, because now she can learn, right? And forgive yourself for what you may view as a mistake, I view as a learning opportunity. So forgive yourself, it's okay. You're not perfect, no one's perfect. And also think about how you can resolve triggers by taking training programs, by taking coaching programs, by watching webinars or seminars or videos, and reading books about them. Learning, we've talked about in the past, learning and growing is really important. We're consistently in the school of hard knocks.
Yeah, she didn't know she was in the school of hard knocks.
Right.
So, in the school of hard knocks, we're never leaving it. It is the school that we were born and raised in, from the time we learn how to walk until the time we're in the ground. We're never going to leave. The principal is always watching us. The principal's got nothing but love for us, but the principal is not letting us pass one thing until we actually pass it. So one of the key distinctions about the school of hard knocks is growth is mandatory. Speed is optional. So you can stay in there for 40 years. They'll be like, oh man, you're still here. You know? So you want to actually get your lessons out as soon as possible. One of the things that makes it so slow is when you are experiencing failure, sadness, mourning about the fact that you failed. Oh, you beat yourself up when you're failing.
Right.
You know, it's understandable, but let me just say this again. Feelings are terrific servants, but terrible masters. So you don't want to let your feelings get in the way of your learning.
Right. And if you love learning, amazing things will happen, right? And if not, as Albert Einstein says, problems can't be solved
With the same level of thinking that
you
created it.
And so, look, you have to learn about money. It's really important to learn about how to save, how to budget, how to invest. If you don't control money, it will control you. So you need to be able to learn and communicate about money. And think about, if you're not telling your partner about some money problem, it's like not telling your partner about another love interest or a sexually transmitted disease. It's important to keep all communication channels open.
Yeah, you can't keep any secrets, even if you're feeling bad about it. I know one time when first time this ever happened for me, I was with my high school sweetheart, and we went away for the summer. We rented a room in Cape May, New Jersey, And the roommate was flirting with her, and she felt really bad about telling me. But when she was telling me, we was both crying, and I felt so close to her. It's almost like we were like it was into each other's body. It was just that powerful. So when you feel trustworthy, you feel safe and secure in having conversation with your partner. You can say anything, and the odds are it's going to bring you together rather than push you apart. But if you don't even know that or trust that, you're going to have a hard time with the relationship. Forget about money.
And Mike Dooley, my mentor, who wrote the best-selling book Infinite Possibilities, talked about thoughts becoming things. So choose the good ones. So let's talk about money and choose your feelings about money. Choose the good ones, the ones you like, right? So you can control your feelings. You can control your thoughts, your mind around money. So we talk about having a meeting of the mind with money. I think you have some thoughts around that too.
Yeah. So money has its own way of doing things, but I've never actually seen a brain inside of any piece of paper. Right. So I can't say this got its own brain, but it's pretty consistent. It actually operates like a principle. And so what it does is it stays around people that likes it. In places it's appreciated, it seems to stay, it even grows. For those who know how to take care of it, you get more of it. It's an amazing thing, but it doesn't know what you're thinking. It's just going to do what it's supposed to do. So you understanding yourself and you understanding how to manage your emotions, how to learn what money does and how to make it do what you want to do is important, because money's not going to try to learn you. It's not. It's going to do what it does. So it's important for you to take the time to put that information in. And in the areas you don't have skill sets around that, like you could learn for 10 years and you still ain't getting it, maybe your partner knows, or maybe you can get somebody else to know. But you got to take your emotions out of it so you can see clearly, because money is the one place you want to be as objective as possible.
And imagine what it'd be like if you and your partner were on the same page around money.
Oh my God.
How would that be for you? Wouldn't you be completely happy, completely satisfied, more grounded, blissful?
Well, how you would really be, if you really did all of this stuff we're talking about, you would end up having the relationship of your dreams with the partner of your dreams. So that all you're doing is your favorite things in your favorite places with your favorite person for the rest of your lives.
Awesome. Why don't we end it there? Hopefully we added some value. If we did, we'd love to hear your comments. And hopefully we enhanced your relationship a little bit more today. So thank you, and your relationship with money. Thank you.
You guys take it easy now.